Hello everyone, this is LW Gaming, and I apologize for not uploading this for a long time. So anyways, here I am back. This time I'm going to be covering my top 5 favorite heroes in Langrisser M, and this time we're going to be covering the third and final one, and that is the Healers Edition. So let's see what do we have here in store, and I'm gonna talk about what those characters are. There are actually seven, but two of them are honorable mentions, like the other two that we had previously. So, anyways, I'm just hoping I can get this video done before I forget, like for the holidays. So, anyways, let's begin, shall we? So, in third place we have Tiaras. So you might be wondering why is Tiaras this low? Well, it's because I used to like her, but now since there are other healers in the game, she's slowly falling off. But I do know that her SP is in fact coming up soon. Her ranking might bump up a bit, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyways, the reason why I put her on fifth is because she's a powerful healer. Although I'm not saying that she's like she's I'm not saying that she's weak or anything. It's just that she's good, but however, she barely made it to top five. That's what I'm saying. There are other healers out there too, but they are underperforming for me, at least. Well, your opinion might be different than mine, but it is what it is. Same as a powerful healer that gains a healing blessing that will heal allies from after attacking, of course. And this works on defense as well, as long as it is a single target combat. And this does not include AOE or anything that does like direct damage. If any of that falls above this category, the healing effect would not apply. This is not like Rosensteel's crystal healing, by the way. She can provide attack blessing to allies, she comes in both versions, like the normal attack blessing, which only applies to one unit, while her own 3C does the same exact thing, but for all allies, including herself, which is pretty insane. And also, her 3C version enables extra mobility as well. So not only you get attack blessing, you also got mobility, which is pretty nice. And her head speed, like I couldn't really judge that much because it hasn't released on global yet, but it has already in CN, and I can imagine that SPTRs is gonna be a lot better, and this could bump up her rank. But for now, I'll keep her fifth for the time being. Anyways, it's going to make her healing abilities even better, like a shield that can absorb damage, as well as getting her 3C skill back much easier, thanks to her SP talent. So in case you guys don't know what her SP talent does, is that like the more allies you heal, the cooldown of with the longest cooldown, like her own cooldown, will be reduced depending on the how many you have healed. So if you heal at like three or more allies already, you'll get your skill cooldown reduced by three, which is the maximum amount you can reduce. Because like there's a cap on there where if you only heal up to one, then only one turn cooldown will be reduced. But if you have the maximum of like three, it'll be three turn cooldown reduced. So yeah, that's how it works. So basically, you can get her 3C back much quickly as long as you don't have other skills that has a longer cooldown. That is. Okay, moving on is honorable mention, and it's a little weird that having honorable mention this early, but I mean, there are actually a lot of healers, unfortunately, did fall under this category, like where they end up being so low, but worth mentioning, of course. So this one goes to let's see, this one goes to Iris or Iris if you are familiar with Sakura Wars series. And yes, I did research a bit how this name was pronounced. It is actually called Iris, which most people call her Iris, which I understand because that's what most people pronounce her name when it's spelled like this. But anyways, her actual name is Iris, but I just call her Iris just to simplify it. Since despite being an SR hero, she's actually a great healer that is capable of applying passive healing buff that heals allies as well as dispelling debuffs once their casting skill is unlocked. So you guys might be asking like how is her healing effect work? So her healing effect is similar to Tiara's, but it's different actually because instead of you getting healed after combat, you heal after you take action. So yeah, that's the one difference when it comes to this kind of healing, but still serve the same purpose though. And also, she can teleport allies and give that ally terrain master movement type, which is pretty nice. And her 3C skill teleports herself and throw out an AoE heal to all allies nearby. And that's the one skill I do like about her. Like, if your allies are like far away from you, Iris can just teleport right next to them and then heal them up immediately. Which is the beauty of her 3C, which is pretty nice. And I don't usually see her in Apex at all because other healers does better jobs. So yeah, there's no reason for you to bring Iris unless she's your only healer that's viable for you. Other than that, it's not worth putting her in the box unless you know what you're doing. Okay, moving on to the fourth place, we have Almeida. So yeah, Almeida is an interesting one because you might think, why is she on this list in the top five? Well, I gotta say, her SP does actually bump up her ranking a bit for me because like her healing abilities have significantly got better than her original form. So let's explain why Almeida is this high. So one of the three heroes which everyone have at the very start of their Langrisser journey. She has basic healing abilities that's easy to learn and adapt. Her SP class is a significant upgrade from her original form. She can trigger her healing talent twice with her 1C SP skill. She also has a 2C SP skill that can reflect some debuffs back at the attacker, and the stacks can be stacked up to 3 times. So yeah, she's like mini version of Elma, but somewhat of a better when it comes to AoE support because this is AoE skill, by the way. While Elma's Light Mirror does basically the same thing that can infinitely reflect debuffs back at the attacker, but the catch is it only affects one target at a time. So yeah, that's a one downside for Elma, but Almeida is almost flawless, but the thing is she cannot deflect all debuffs though. That's another one thing that's drawing her back. So yeah, you get to choose either which one you want to go for because Elma and Almeida does have similar roles now with the reflect mechanism. Okay, moving on to the third place. But we're already on the third place already, which is surprising. We have Alma. Speaking of her, we did talk about her not too long ago, and funny enough, Alma is actually the like funny enough on the other uh like tanks in the other edition for top five. The other character of her, well, the other form of her, is also on third place, and that is on the tank edition, Lightbringer. Funny enough, these two are the same characters but different roles, and they're both on in third place in two of these categories, which is pretty funny for me at least. A great healer that summons a healing candle that provides even more healing. She has a unique skill that can reflect all debuffs back at the attacker. She can rescue allies back to safety with her light recall skill, and this can only apply one at a time though. So yeah, if you have a lot of allies out there and they're just like not protected by anything or a tank, yeah, Elma will only be able to rescue one of them, while the other might have to like survive on their own. But you get my point. So yeah, Elma is an excellent healer, but although it really depends on what team you're running, Elma is actually pretty viable. But I rarely see her in Apex nowadays. I don't know. Things might change in the future, but for now, she'll just be like I would say an okay choice if you don't have anybody else to go with. So, anyways, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is the second place, and this one goes to none other than Rosenseal. And Rosenseal, the reason why I put her on second place, although she used to be my number one choice, but now with other characters in the game that does better than her, her ranking fell to second place. A powerful healer that enables allies to ignore most of the annoying debuffs with the Crystal Barrier, as well as the role of anti AoE with Crystal Healing. As of recently, her overall usage rate is slowly in decline because another healer, and which I'm going to talk about in a later part of the video because she is on this list after all, has most of her unique skills except her unique 3C skill. I'm not saying she's becoming not reliable, like not viable. I mean, it's just most players don't don't see Rosensteel as useful as she used to be for the rush teams. Some tanks push may still use her because she still shines in this kind of box, or this kind of team, I mean. So yeah, I myself included still use Rosensteel in Apex, but this will all change later on when Enya comes out. And I'm not even kidding. Enya is totally nuts. And what Kong said, Zilong is out of control. Like literally out of control, like for real. When I see people quitting, I highly doubt that. But I don't know. We'll have to see if people are gonna quit because of Enya. I don't think that's gonna be a thing for global because in CN it's totally different. CN I did see some people might end up quitting, but maybe not as much as a global version. But we'll have to see how it goes from there. So sit tight, everyone. Next up, let's talk about Honorable Mission before we talk about who's the number one. And this character belongs to Liana. So yeah, Liana being in this spot is interesting because she's not as strong as Rosensteel, but she does have something that she has over Rosensteel, and that is the capability of act again. And anyway, she's a great healer with act again skills. Her, I mean, just only one skill, of course. Her 3C skill can be applied to an ally that has similar properties of her own talent and gospel. And her casting skill enables her to cast Act Again on an ally from 3 blocks instead of the usual 2 block range. And there's a little typing error, but ignore that for now. Basically, matching with other Act Again support heroes, giving players more options on who they would like to bring for Act Again. So far, Ishin and Liana are the two popular choices in Apex Arena. And yep, but the reason why I say they're popular choices is because especially Ishin and Liana, these two I've seen more commonly than other characters that does act again. Aka, you could think that she will sometimes appear, but most of the time you'll either see Liana, Ishin, or even both in the same box. Yeah, which one makes the like pick and ban a bit tricky. And finally, number one, first place, and you already know who this healer is gonna be because this character is insane in PvP and PvE, and that character is Celica. And I'm not talking about Celica from Fire Emblem Echoes or Fire Emblem Gaiden. Yeah, not that one. This is Langrisser's Celica. So, anyways, she is overall a powerful healer with the largest skill selection. Like, this is no exaggeration. She has a lot of skills, and she can rotate them out after she uses one of them, depending on what kind of skill cost is it. Like 1C, she gets to switch another for another 1C, and then 2C you can switch for another 2C, but for 3C you don't switch it out because that does not include it. Because honestly, how broken would it be if Celica could rotate out her 3C? That would be terrifying. But thankfully, Zilong made the limit on Celica, so yeah, the swapping mechanic only applies on 1C and 2C skills. And she does provide a revive ability, which will help heroes that they normally would die to survive a fatal attack, which is pretty nice. And then also she's capable of boosting heroes' triggering enchant, which you might think how to like how what is triggering enchant is supposed to be. Well, it's basically any enchant that involves like a chance thing, like for example, breeze, ice, thorns, clock, you name it. Anything that involves like a chance, it's gonna get affected by this. So yeah, if you have 5 stacks of those armor affinity, you will get a 105% chance. And that is the exact math if you add them all together. Like 30% plus the 5 stacks, that's like gives you like 15 more like 15 more of those like chances, I believe. And you if you add all of that, that's literally 105 chance. So yeah, when you got all 5 of those stacks on that one character with a breeze, clock, or anything that they have, that's like a triggering chance. It's gonna get them activate that all the time, which is pretty nuts. And she is a very popular choice in any team. So yeah, you can tell this character is gonna be very insane. Like she's very insane to the point where she's very viable in any teams. Rush team, tank push, you name it, everything. As long as you keep her alive, that is. And she'll give you so much healing value. So, yeah, that is my top 5 list, although 7 heroes to be exact. So, anyways, that's about it from me. So, hope y'all find this video fun, entertaining, whatever. I'll see you all next time. And happy holidays, everyone. Depending on when are you watching this. If it's already past holidays, then wish you happy New Year. Or I don't know. Have a good day, everyone.